Okay, so we're going to dive in. So thank you all for jumping on this call. And we're talking about two different very important topics that I'm going to kind of divide up, and then we'll open it up and see if anyone has anything they need to say. And I think Jessica Servi is going to kind of share and piggyback off of some of the things that I say. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover is overcoming objections, because you're going to get a lot of objections. Like, I'm getting the same objections that you're going to get. We're all getting the same ones. And I think that's like probably one of the main reason that people give up, that people quit as a coach, because nobody would join them, because everybody said no, everybody already had Beachbody, whatever. There's already a bunch of coaches, like whatever the objection in our own head sometimes is, but we're also getting objections when we're sending the invites, because guess what? People aren't going to always just jump the first time we message them. Like, it's going to take them seeing us and us building trust before they're just going to jump in, right? How many exposures does it take us sometimes to be able to jump, to just be able to go for it? And they need that. And so, but the thing we have to remember is somebody telling us no should not have any effect on our vision or our success. Like, if someone tells me no, that has nothing to do with what I want to do with my business. That has nothing to do with, that doesn't change my goals, doesn't change my vision. So I can't stress enough, and I've said this for years, but it's like, you gotta get thick-skinned about like getting objections and being able to kind of, I don't want to use the word fight, but being able to kind of navigate through them, right? Because a lot of times objections are, it's literally a lack of belief. It's literally a lack of belief that people don't feel like they can do it, right? Sometimes it's a legit reason. Sometimes it really is. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's just they need you to show them how they can make this work. So like, money is the number one probably objection we get, right? And sometimes it's legit. Sometimes they maybe really honestly don't have the funds, but sometimes they are spending their money elsewhere and they're not making it happen in the investment that they need to make, but we can't make them see that, right? We can't tell them where to put their money and that their health is the best investment. So it's up to us to show up on social media, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. And it's up to us to show up in a way that is going to show them that they should join us, that they should want to make this investment, that $160 is like nothing compared to the lifestyle that they're going to learn and have for the rest of their life. Like, it's just a no-brainer. And you have to help them see the value. Like, yes, $160 is a lot of money, to invest or whatever. And maybe that's their mindset. And maybe that was your mindset, but looking back now, would you change it? Would you have spent $500 knowing what you know now? Would you have spent more? Like, I hope the answer is yes, just simply because of all the things it's given you, right? And so you have to break it down for them. You have to show them what they're getting. If you're just like, yeah, okay. Like, if they say, yeah, it's just too much money, whatever, or they come back with that and you're just kind of like, you back down super easy. And I'm not saying you just got to argue with them. You're not going to argue with their financial situation. That's not our job. But are they just not understanding the value that they're getting with what we have to offer? Because sometimes that's the thing. They don't understand that they get every single program for a whole year, that they get in our groups an endless amount of time, that they get weekly meal plans and all of that. So it's our job to share with them how they can overcome whatever disbelief is in their mind telling them not to do this, or it's not the right time. And maybe it's not the right time, and that's okay. Objections literally are going to lead to the answer yes, because an objection is just them saying not right now. Doesn't mean no. It means that they can't figure it out right now. It's not the right time, and that's okay. It's not our job we can only just help them, right? We can't make them say yes. So, I've gotten two objections. Well, I take that back. One objection and something else I saw another girl say that kind of blew my mind. And this is just an example. So one girl just gave me an objection today about Beachbody On Demand, saying that she couldn't even keep up with jogging, so she couldn't do Beachbody On Demand. And I'm like, yeah, that's like, so my response was kind of like, yeah, that's exactly why I do at-home programs, because I can't keep up with jogging either. Because like, if I jog, that means I got to leave my kids, right? And I'd much rather do my workout at home. And so, and then I saw another objection where someone was sharing about how they were running, how they had committed to running. And a girl commented saying like, I could never commit to that because I have 2 kids, LOL. And I'm just like, yeah. So that's like a disbelief in their head. Like, you're going to get everything under the sun, and it's frustrating because you just are thinking it's usually an excuse a lot of times. And so that's okay. Again, you have to be okay with the fact that they aren't ready. And even though you want to get good at kind of helping them to see, showing value, and really showing them that if they were to join you, they're going to get results, you want to get good at like being confident enough to say things like that, and that will come. But at the end of the day, you gotta just have the thick skin to understand that it's not their time. But guess what that means? It means an objection means not right now, and an objection means someone that you're gonna follow up with. Those are your follow-ups. Those are the people that you're gonna invite over and over and over again until they say yes. Or until they finally respond or whatever. And maybe they won't, and that's okay. But you're still gonna be doing you and showing up, right? And you're not going to give up on them, and people will appreciate that when you don't give up on them. So like I said, if you relate to the objection, then you need to share with them how you made it work in your life. How did you make it work? Like, because they want to say no time, no money. I don't know, just whatever. Like, I have 2 little bitty kids and I work long hours and I whatever. Okay. There's a million objections and reasons, but how can you help them to understand that they can make this work? That's our job, to show them. Because usually it's just a transfer of belief from us to show them that they can actually freaking do this too. My favorite thing that I think, one of my favorite things I've ever heard was from that call that Lindsay had with Christy, Kronzer or whatever. My very favorite thing, like, I think in this business of 6 years, is what she said about going from failure to failure without lack of enthusiasm. Because again, and it's in this case, we're going to use an objection, going from objection to objection without lack of enthusiasm. Because it shouldn't change. It shouldn't change what we're doing. It should not change our goals. It should not change. Like, it's almost like when you see somebody like, and I'm just going to share this because this is just, and I think you guys can all relate to something. It's like, well, I'll go back to like when I was like, I wanted to get engaged, and my husband took 6 freaking years to propose to me. Like, I wanted to kill him because I was ready to get married, and he obviously wasn't. And so, but then what? Everyone under the sun is getting engaged around me, right? And this sort of took the wind out of my sails. So I could use that example, and it would just completely, like, it would almost like upset me. You know what I mean? Like, even though I shouldn't be upset, I'm happy for these people. It's like, if you're going to talk about your business and you want your business to be moving forward more, but it's not moving at the pace that you think it should, but you see other coaches kind of like moving forward, and you're like, you get in your own head about like, and it depletes your energy, right? Because you want to be there, or you think you should be there, or whatever the case is. It's the same thing with objections. Like, you know how fast you can be excited about inviting? And then if you're not in a good enough mindset, if you're not doing this with or without, with that attitude of, I'm doing this with or without you, like, no offense, but I don't need that person. Like, they need this and the tools that I have to offer. They need this and our support, our community, right? If you're not in a good enough mindset to handle the no's, it's going to deplete you. It's going to discourage you. It's going to make you feel like this isn't for you. Or in that imposter syndrome, which I just shared about on our new coach check-in. I had never heard this before, but if you watch the new coach call, she talked about imposter syndrome. And I think it's I never heard that before, but it's basically just saying like, I can't do this because I'm a fraud, or I can't do this because of like whatever. And that's like not the case, or that you have to earn success. But anyhow, it could be a flip of a switch to get in your own head. And it's kind of like if you were to weigh yourself and you were like, oh, you've been pushing this week, right? Or you're hoping that the scale shows your success, which I freaking hate the scale. I think it's garbage half the time. But, like, so you get on the scale and what happens? It's not what you thought. It's not what you had in mind. So then what? You're immediately what? Depleted of energy. And you're already just like, you're discouraged. And your mindset has completely switched because of some stupid number on a scale that doesn't mean SHIT. But it's going on up here. So objections are like literally a mindset. Like you gotta just push through them, because guess what? Somebody is going to say yes to you. And I always say this, someone's going to say yes to you, and they're going to like light your challenge group on fire. They're going to love everything you're sharing with them. They're going to show up. They're going to like appreciate what you have to offer, and they're going to love it. And that's going to light your fire. And that's the people that you're looking for. Those people that drive you to keep going. And they're out there. But guess how many no's you're going to have to get to freaking get to them? A lot. And maybe not. Maybe you're going to get lucky. Like maybe you're going to get lucky and find somebody who's a rock star right off the bat. Well, good for you, because like it could happen for sure. It's just a numbers game. It's a timing game. So that's kind of like really what I want to share about that, because every objection is essentially the same. Like money, time, whatever, like any of it can happen if they want to make it happen. And it is our job to sort of transfer some knowledge to them and advice to them and understanding to them to show them how. It's all in the how they can make this work, but they got to want to make it work. So I want you to think about that when you're getting objections. It's not just you. It's not just you getting them. It's me. It's everybody. It's every top coach that you see. Does not matter. They're getting objections. But you know what? They're probably sending more invites, because it's just the name of the game. And it's really good to use third-party tools too. I think it's like if someone is like, well, I don't know about at-home workouts. They just don't, they're just kind of not my thing, or I used to do those or whatever. Well, send them a video of the workout that you're doing, because they might not, again, they don't know, not everybody understands what we're doing. Like they don't quite get it. So send them a video, send them a third-party tool that helps explain more than maybe what you can show them, because it's sometimes worth 1,000 words. And then of course send voice clips, because I think they're the bomb. I think they're so helpful. It's okay if you don't want to do it right away. As a newer coach, I don't know that I would have dove right in with voice clips, but I get tired of messaging, and I think people can seriously hear your compassion. They can hear your excitement. They can hear you for you, and it builds trust. It's just another thing that's personable, that's going to build trust, and it's going to help them to like say yes and at least feel connected to you. Okay. So Jessica, do you have anything? Yeah. Voice clips are just like, I feel like a lot of times people, will, not that they're going to say yes just because I send them a voice clip, but they're going to be like, oh, okay, she's like she's actually maybe going to help me, because like she's sending me a voice clip. She's taking time out of her day to send some stuff and to send info and to send 4, 1-minute voice clips. Jessica, do you have anything you want to piggyback off of to say with objections before we go into social media?
Yes. So, I have to say, and this is something that took me a really long time, and I still do it. Like she said, when you're like, oh man, I wish I was where that coach was, or I wish I was at Success Club already this month, or, whatever it is. I found that I had to let go of the outcome, and it almost seems counterproductive, right? Because if you're focusing on a goal of helping people and adding people to your challenge group or adding people to your coaching team, whatever it is, and you let go of the outcome, how does that make sense? Okay, sorry, I had a phone call and she'll probably call back because I declined her right away. Anyway, but if you focus on the reason you're doing this, I promise you, if you refocus on your vision and you refocus on your mission. And they're two very different things, oddly enough. Like, your vision is what you see this business doing for you and your family and your team. Your mission is, I want to help other people. I want to show other people they can do this. I want to, like, I think back to Twyla on our very first coach sneak peek, her very first video. She was in tears because of the feeling of fulfillment that helping other women gives her. So I encourage you to dig deep into your mission and deep into your vision before you send that first invite, before you respond, and let go of whatever the outcome is, because that you're brought into that person's life that day, today, whenever you're talking to them, for a reason. And maybe the first interaction is going to be to introduce yourself so they know they have a friend in you. And maybe they're not going to jump on board right away. But I just had a girl today I've been inviting for 5 years. 5 years. Reach out to me and say, okay, I'm ready to do this. Like, so I promise it's going to come back to you, and not that that's what it's all about, but it's going to come back to you, because if you show that you're consistent and that this isn't just a quick fix and that you're doing this because it's a complete lifestyle change and we have literally like the whole toolkit at our disposal, then people are going to come back to you when they're ready. But it's your job to keep inviting them. And it's your job, because maybe they don't reach out to you. Maybe you just invite them for the 16th time and they're like, yep, I'm ready. And you're like, okay, let's go, So I just wanted to tell you that. And I just wanted to say to just let go of the outcome, as odd as that sounds and as hard as it is, because I'm struggling with that this month, because I'm honest to God, just overwhelmed. We're moving, and I envisioned us moving into this house. And then my husband found this gigantic fixer upper. So my head's exploding inside, you guys. And I have all the things going through my head. But then I look at you guys, I look at our mission, and it just helps me to refocus on what's important. And I think that just helps with your mindset. And then I think that's all I was going to say about objections. There was something else I was going to mention too, but like Tabitha said, just being understanding of their situation, and saying, yeah, I totally felt that way too. What I found is, and then tell them what's worked for you. That's how I try to share. And then as far as the third-party tools go, I know there's some newer coaches on the call. So I just wanted to remind you, when you're sharing a third-party video and you go to YouTube to share the video, make sure it's a corporate video, simply because some coaches have somehow, I don't know, they work their YouTube magic, because I sure don't know how to do this, but some coaches have their website at the end with a link. So you're going to type into YouTube, you're going to type in 21 Day Fix promo video, or I'll put Beachbody at the end, and then I'll just make sure, look where the video comes from, and it will say Beachbody, or it will say Autumn Calabrese, or whatever it might be. So that's just like a little technical thing I wanted to share with you guys. But anyway, just like I said, focus on your mission, your vision, and then let go of the outcome, because you're going to be the person in that person's life that you're supposed to be that day, plain and simple. Even if it's just planting a seed. So, anyway, I'll stop talking. Sorry.
No, that was good. I agree. And I shared that kind of in the new coach call a while ago too, about the outcome, because when we get so attached to that, it's like, we can't help but feel discouraged, right? Because you want to be there, but you're not. You're only here because you're supposed to be here, and you're growing. So it's all growth through all of the things that we're doing. Okay. So we're going to dive into social media, because I don't really train on this enough, probably. And it's a big deal. It really is a big deal to build your business using social media. That's how I've built my business. That's how we have, had so much success as a team, is the different platforms of social media. So I want to kind of dive into that a little bit. You're constantly, your social media does not need to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you do need to be reevaluating your social media. Okay. Am I showing up enough? Are my stories there? Are my stories enough of a variety? Am I sharing enough aspects of my life? Am I kind of getting creative with things that I'm doing on social media, or am I still just posting a sweaty selfie every single time and not really putting some things, different things behind it. Jackson, what are you doing here? Go out. So literally, just as our fitnesses and our businesses, our social media is always a work in progress too. Like, I look back to my social media and it's not perfect. Like, I still look at other coaches and I'm like not comparing, but I'm just like, okay, well, my social media game isn't as strong as it probably could be, but it's a freaking hell of a lot better than it's ever been in my whole business. But again, I'm 6 years in and I've seen what works and I've messed with it and I've tried to play with it and I've like gotten good at failing at it, right? I've gotten good at not giving two SHITs if I get 10 likes or 30 likes or no likes, you know? I mean, if you're getting absolutely no, and it's not about the likes, but some people aren't seeing your stuff is some of it. But if you're getting not very much, then you need to reevaluate. Okay, what am I sharing? And I've shared this with you guys before, but what have I shared in the past that's really helpful? So we're going to kind of dive into like your brand. So your brand, and I still feel like I might struggle with this just a little bit, but I know my brand now more than I ever have, because again, it's growth, right? When I started coaching, okay, I was a full-time dental hygienist. I was a mom. I started to get into fitness. So now I'm a motivator, right? And I like wine and coffee, but beyond that, like I'm married, I just didn't feel like I had enough like uniqueness about me. And that's not true, because it's the simplest things that make you you. It's the simplest stuff that literally will separate you from somebody else. So like for me, for example, now, and when someone goes to your Facebook page, this is how you can kind of reevaluate yourself. When someone goes to your Facebook or your Instagram, what are the last like 6 posts that you've shared? Do they know that you're a health and fitness coach? Do they know you're a mom? Do they know that you're a stay-at-home mom? Do they know that you have a fitness business? Do they know that you like fitness? What do they know about you? Because it better show what you are. Like, if you want to build this business, it better show them a little bit about you, and they better get a really good idea if you're somebody that they're going to relate with. So for me, the stuff that gets the most attention, I should say, I guess, and it's not about the attention, but it is about the engagement. Okay. That's the point. That's the goal. Like, you're trying to stand out and you're trying to be relatable with people. Okay. So the thing that for me is obviously fitness. That's who I am. I'm a work from home mom now. So I talk about that. I share the shit out of that. Like, how I worked hard to get to where I am, but it's not because I'm anything fancy. It's not because I did something completely different. Like, I just showed up and I stayed consistent and I kept plugging away, right? So I can share so many aspects of that. And guess how many people are wishing that they could be in this position? Because I was that person wishing that I could be in that position. So I share a lot about that. I share a ton about anxiety because I could share for days about it and people relate with it. And it's not something people like to talk about it. And I'm bold about it. And I've always been bold about it because it's like my therapy to share the stuff that's on my heart. And I hope that you feel that way about your Facebook post. I hope you feel that if your Facebook post or your Instagram post inspires one person, I hope you feel like that's all you need, because you're not talking to everyone. That's not the point. We don't care. Like, we care about everyone, but we don't have everything in common with everyone, right? That's just not the way it is, because we're unique. So who are our people? So you're talking to those people. So anxiety for me is a huge one to share about, because I know it's going to get a ton of like people questioning things and people saying, yes, I feel you. I get it. I was there too. And thank you so much for showing me that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So what does your audience need to see? Like, what have you shared before that really gets your audience kind of engaged? That's the stuff you want to share. And I share real stuff. Like, I just share the stuff that I just like, just the real stuff. I don't care. Like, I'm an open book and I share that. So what are the things that make you you? You ought to be thinking about that and how you can share and how you can show up. But I also don't want you guys to think it's got to be anything super profound. It's literally just simple things. Like I could say, for example, Tamara, she's not, I don't know if hopefully she can hear me, but like Tamara's a worship leader. Okay. She sings. She has a lot to say about that aspect of her life. That makes her her. So guess what? All the other people who are involved in that, like she is, are going to relate to her. They're going to relate to her because, and it's nothing, and I mean, it's a big deal and it's awesome, but I'm just saying it's nothing, it's something that Tamara would do on a normal basis. Like she's not doing it because of coaching. She's doing it because she loves it. And she's, you know, a woman of God and she shares that. So think of the things that make you, that make you stand out, but there's things that you do in your everyday life that you're passionate about on top of Beachbody. Because I'm going to tell you right now, people are going to connect with you way more on the other levels of who you are rather than Beachbody, because they don't get it. They haven't, most people don't, unless they're in our circle, they don't quite get it because they don't understand the community. That's where we are showing up in different avenues and aspects to show them who we really are. So I want you to be thinking about that. I want you to get really good at showing up every single day, sharing that kind of stuff. And we talked briefly about this because Tamara asked on the new coach call, and I want to just share it because I think it's really helpful. She said, you know, I struggle with, and Lori agreed with her because she said, I feel like I'm struggling with just getting on my stories and talking, like just about whatever. Like, I feel like I know what I want to say, but then when I get on there, it might be different, or I don't know what to say, or I lose some of it. And I honestly, when I get on there to start talking and sharing, I just want to share, like, I know briefly what I'm going to share, but it's nothing profound. It's random stuff. It's random chatter. It's random, did I sleep through my alarm? Were my kids going crazy? What's my new Energized flavor? Well, I don't know, just random stuff. That's the stuff people want to see. And so just don't overthink the things that you're going to share. You've got to get over that overthinking. And the best advice I could ever give is share what's on your heart. Share what's on your heart all the time. Whatever it is. Like it could have been a scenario that happened at the grocery store. Well, if that's on your heart, then share it. It could be someone that you came in contact with on social media. It could be anything. Okay. So don't overthink it. And I want you to also think about when you're running out of posts, right? You run out of posts, you run out of ideas. You're like, I don't know what to post. Recycle what you're posting. Recycle it. Like, I could go back to a post. You can go to your memories and you can see what you shared about. So a year ago, if you've been a coach a year, and some of you are newer, and that's fine, I want you to take this information with you and know that in the future, you're going to retell your story over and over and over again. You're just going to recycle it in a different manner because guess what? You've grown since that time you shared about it. There's so many different ways to share about it in so many different aspects. So I want you to just think about how you can recycle different things that you've already went through, that you've already shared, because guess what? All the people didn't see it. They didn't see all of it. Like, they might not have seen it. So you share it again, because when we assume people know exactly what we're doing, we assume that people know that we're a coach and we do Beachbody and we are there for them and we're an encourager and a motivator. Okay, but do they really? Like, we assume that, but don't assume people know. It's like when I assume my coaches know what Success Club is, their coach online office and all the things, right? It's like, I can't assume that because it comes to me easily because I've been doing it, but I can't assume that they know it. So, okay, what else do I need to share? So it's like your magazine cover. It's like your business card. When they go to your page, what do they see? Because they better see consistency, because all of these things on social media are building the trust. And this is like your trust builder. Showing up over and over again, no matter what stuff is going on in your life. And I could go to Jessica's survey again, like I shared last week or the week before, about the fact that, give me someone who's like, their husband's lost their job, they're selling their house, they went through a pandemic and they were working and volunteering and working a ton of hours. They have 3 little kids and they sold their house and are buying a fixer-upper. Like, my head's exploding, but she's still showing up every single day, because you show up on social media, not based on your feelings. Because if that's the case, then guess what? The consistency is not there. The trust isn't there. And people see kind of your, and I don't want to say flakiness, but people just see the inconsistency of you. And then they're like, okay, is she on or is she off? And it doesn't matter what they think. Because even if you've been off for a few days, I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay to be off for a few days. It's okay to have a struggle. What's not okay is not coming back and not trying to push through that and letting that consistency decline. So social media is the proof. Like, where's your social proof at? Like, I hope that you're reflecting on that. And I hope that there's social proof behind what we're doing. And that comes with sharing results. That comes with, sometimes coaches say they post every morning after they do their workout for their own accountability. Like, it's their own accountability to post because they just do it for them, right? But when you're doing it for them, you're also doing it for you and your business, and it's inspiring and it's motivating people. Okay, so you really do have my permission or anyone's permission to be transparent on your social media. Instead of overthinking it, instead of thinking like, is it this or is it that? It doesn't matter, because the people that matter aren't going to mind what you post. They're going to love you. They're going to love you through every post, through everything that you're sharing on your heart. It's not going to matter because that's not their Facebook post. It's yours. It's your Instagram post. It's your story. It's what's making you you. So I cringe. And I was this way, and I still struggle every once in a while, but it really hurts me and bothers me and weighs heavy on my heart when I see coaches literally be frozen and not do things because they're concerned about what people think. And you got to get through that barrier, because you just got to. Like, there's no reason to feel that way, because that's all up here. That's not anybody else. That's all up here, and that's your ego. And we talked a little bit about that on the new coach call. It's your ego telling you that it's this or it's that, or what if they think this, or what if they take it that way, I've shared some stuff lately that, I don't know, I feel like I could lose some friends for, and probably. And I feel like I've had some things lately, some conversations on my posts, because people are going to just find the negative. They're going to find something, and it doesn't matter. It does not matter, because if you are sharing with a good heart, like I had a former coach, and I don't know if you all saw my Instagram post the other day that I posted about everything that's been going on. And I didn't pick sides. I didn't say anything negative. And I had a former coach who I met on Instagram completely belittle my Facebook post. And then proceed to very rudely insult a customer of mine who I dearly love, who's always there to support me. In which I kind of got my claws out then, because I'm like, all right, you can say what you want about me, but don't you be saying stuff to, whatever. So anyways, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter. I didn't need that person. She wasn't my person, because I know with all my heart that I meant nothing but good from that post. That's all I need to know. So anyways, I want you guys to think about that as you're posting, because so often we criticize or we critique what we're saying, and we're like, well, what if they take it this way, or what if they do? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, we could, how it's a text. You get a text from someone. I could take the text as derogatory, or I could take the text as whatever, because it's a text. And if people know you and you're showing up on your stories and they know your heart, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to take your post as something that it's not, because they know you, because they trust you, because they've seen you show up and they've seen your heart over and over again. And I'll be damned if somebody's going to tell me that what I said wasn't heartfelt. Okay. Because I know me and I know my heart. So anyways, I hope I really just, I seriously, it just saddens me when I see so many people in their own way. And that's growth, you guys. That's going to come with time. So if you're in your own way right now, it's okay. I have been there so many times, and we can all relate to that. But I just want you to know that you're enough, and that your posts, that you have you have so much to share, and you have so much positivity and encouragement and light to share with people, don't underestimate what you can do in the impact. And I remember, I think it was Melanie Mitro, and she was the top coach for years. And I remember her saying, like, what was your impact score? Like, what was your impact score on your social media? Do you think you made an impact today? And it's not, again, it's not going to be a profound thing. It's not going to be something just ask, something crazy that you went live about, or that, but did you build, maybe just complimented someone. Maybe you just showed up for them and tagged them, and maybe it got them to do their workout. Maybe whatever the case is, it could be the smallest things that you're doing for people that you don't realize. And it's all through social media, and it's your vehicle to build this business. So people can say whatever they want about social media and how it's negative and it's political and it's blah, blah, blah. And yes, it is. It's very negative and it's very political, but I don't choose to look at that stuff. So if someone wants to complain about how, like, I deactivated my Facebook because it's political. Well, okay. Well, then you need to unfriend people, or you need to find a new set of people, because that's not the case. There's plenty of positivity on there, but I understand that it does get old seeing some of that other stuff. But I want you guys to understand the impact that you'll have on people when you just continue to show up. And you're going to get better at time. You're going to get better at time because consistency builds confidence, right? Then you have the confidence to say, all right, I'm posting this. I don't care. Like, I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm celebrating me. I'm whatever it is. Okay. Let me see what else I had that I wanted to share. And I really encourage you guys to show up on your social media every single day with a post. I remember as a new coach, it was like, show up 3 to 5, do 3 to 5 posts a day. I don't do that. Like, I don't do that anymore. I think that I look at some, and I'm not comparing, but I see successful coaches, very successful coaches. And one of them I follow, and I went to her post the other day, and I don't know what I was looking at, but I was on her page and she hasn't posted for 6 days. I don't recommend that. But my point is that she's showing up on stories. She's showing up heavily on stories, and she's probably having a ton of conversations. So sometimes we think of social media as they're just to post, but we're not there just to post. Yes, I recommend doing a post every single day because it's going to build trust. It's going to build consistency, and it shows people that you're showing up. And again, who are they going to want to join? You. They're going to come to you, even if you've invited them 10 times and then they said no. They're going to see that you're still showing up. But it's like a package. Social media is such like a bundle of things that as long as you're being consistent with some stories, and I recommend at least have 10 stories up, give people, like, 10's really not even that much, but I think it's a great thing to start from, to be able to show different aspects. Okay, there's a couple fitness video clips. Maybe there's your shake. Maybe there's your energize, but then maybe there's some personal stuff, just you talking. Maybe there's just what you do for fun. What you ordered, your latest purchase, like whatever, just stuff that people want to see what you're doing. Okay, so I think I shared, and people are honestly more likely to do business with someone that they have stuff in common with. I had that wrote down too, because they're going to come to you. Like, especially if you're real, especially if you're being vulnerable and sharing stuff, because again, like with my anxiety stuff, people are scared to share it. And I don't get that, because I feel like, and I honestly think it's this business that has given me that mindset for sure. It's given me that mindset and the courage to share that stuff, because I wouldn't have thought that was okay before, because I would have felt like, why am I airing my dirty laundry, or why am I putting my business out there? Or people don't need to know that, or blah, blah, blah. Because don't you think that that's how people's like mindset is? Like, why would you want to share all that stuff? It's okay. It doesn't matter. I want to share it because I hope it helps somebody. I hope that I can actually, that's my mission, is to help someone with my words today, and to help someone with my heart, because there's someone that felt the way that I felt, and I want them to know that it's okay. And that's my way of working through some of my anxiety still to this day. And so you got to get okay with being you and sharing you and showing up over and over and over again. So as far as, and this is the other thing I had wrote down, which I love this. I heard this on a call and I wrote it down. So honestly, our goal each day is to live out loud. Live out loud. with every aspect that you are. And like I said on the new coach call, be the coach that you'd want to follow. Be that person. Like who's the coach that you like look up to, that you're inspired by? You don't want to be her exactly. That's not the goal. But how does she show up authentically? Like then you show up authentically in the way that you feel like you would want someone to, so that you would join them, right? Okay, so I want to, and then the very last thing I want to say is the backbone of your relationships are going to come from your social media. People are going to see you. They're going to see that they have a lot in common with you. They're going to see that they trust you. They're going to see that you're like a real human being that has issues and struggles, but shares it, but is excited about where she's going. And she is like, just showing up and consistent, even if she fails forward, right? You're building relationships by your posts, by what you're sharing. And I don't want you to overthink your posts. I just want you to show up, because done is better than perfect, over and over and over again. And guess what? You're going to be able to reflect, and you're going to be able to reevaluate and see what you might need to do different, and see what you might need to tweak, and see how you can maybe show up. Maybe your pictures, like you want to brighten them a little bit. Maybe you want to change your profile picture. Maybe you want to work on hashtags. Like there's so many things that I've had to tweak and work on, and I still don't have it all figured out, but it's better than it's ever been. And I hope that, I know that it'll just continue to grow, because I'm going to focus on it becoming better. Okay. So I know I've talked for a long time. I hope that helps you guys. And I want to let Jessica share something, if there's something on her heart to share about social media, and then anyone else can share anything that they want as well. But I know I can speak for all of us in saying, like, it gets easier. It gets easier to not, like, the only time I don't know what I'm going to post, the only time I feel like I'm at a loss for posts is when I'm mentally like drained. Because my mission and my vision hasn't changed. I could share 10 things right now about where I'm going, where I've been, which people would rather know where you're going than where you've been, but they also want to relate to where you've been, right? So, I could share so many different things that I think could really help people, because I've gotten really good at telling my story. I've gotten really good at just like sharing stuff that's on my heart. And like I said, the only time is when I'm just like, I'm feeling so tired or mentally drained that I feel like I'm worthless right now. I just need to go to bed and wake up tomorrow with a clean head. Because you're going to get better at it. I promise. You're going to get better. You're going to feel confident. You're going to show up, and you're going to get a good result. You're going to get people that say, because of you, I did this. Because of your post, like, please don't stop posting, or whatever. And that's a freaking win right there. That's our job. That's our goal. Okay, Jessica, what do you want to say?
No, I think that was great. That pretty much says it all. I just, I'm right there with you. Like tonight, I'm just mentally drained. And of course, I've been waiting for 20 minutes to chat with customer service, and they just popped on. Like, hey, I'm here. Anyway, I just wanted to say that sometimes I overthink it, right? So like yesterday, my brother took these really great family photos, and I'm like, man, I just don't even know, what do I want to share? And then I just kind of went back to like the whole reason I wanted my brother to take those photos in front of church. It was because like that place is the reason we came here for my dad. He's the pastor there, that we're leaving. I wanted to document our family there because, all these changes have happened during COVID. So it feels like this is real all of a sudden. So anyway, I just kind of shared that in my post, and every time I kind of stop, and when life's going great, everything, not that life's not going great, but when you're having a really great day, share something funny, share something, silly that happened. It doesn't always have to be like Tabitha said, serious or whatever. Like I love how Catrice the other day shared like, hey mom, I see you there. Like, did you eat the ice cream? Did you miss your Monday workout? Like, I get you. I got you. Me too. Share the real. And I did that again over the weekend when I was really emotional, and that's not me. And I always show up and try to be the light. And that's what I encourage all of you to be, is the light. But if you're struggling or if something's hitting your heart and you feel like sharing it, share it. So like, I didn't go into detail by any means, but I just kind of said like, I'm struggling today. And I had somebody reach out to me and just say like, thanks for being real. Like, I love that you're so real. And that's what I think the best gift we can be to give people is show them that like, we're human, we make mistakes, we eat the food, we miss the workouts, we yell at our kids, we have a fight with our husband. Not that I'm saying you need to share your marital issues on social media. That might be the opposite, but you know what I mean, that we're real people and that real things happen to us. And I promise you that if you just share what's here, then it's going to come out that way to other people. So that's really all I had. And then just like, not to be afraid of just sharing funny stuff too. It's okay. Like, people want to see that stuff. People want to see your, like, sometimes I share my piles of laundry because people relate to that, you know, and I stink at laundry. So I don't know, silly things. That's more of a, you know, for your stories. But, yeah, that's all I got for that. This was great. I love it. And then of course, you know, you can always reach out to us or anyone if you need help with wording or whatever it might be. You know, we're glad to help you with that. So.
Yeah. And if there's something that you feel like you want to share, but you're like, I just don't know. I don't know if I have the words, or I don't know if I just don't know exactly, or whatever. I encourage you to, I'm always open to like I still have coaches who will screenshot what they're saying and they're like, okay, can you help me with this or whatever? But I encourage you to post it anyway. I encourage you to just do it. Like, don't overthink it. Write what you can, share what you can. It's not going to be this like amazingly like written piece. Okay. And that's where I think that we tend to overthink it. But
and that's what I was going to say too. Like, if there's something that you're thinking about sharing, but it maybe makes you want to throw up,
then you need to share it. You probably need to share it.
You probably need to share it. So, and I know she wouldn't mind me sharing this. I was on a call with Jess Rhodes and Twyla, I think the other day, right, Twyla? And Jess was telling us about how she had been picked on for being overweight her whole life. And I said, yeah, that's your post for today. And so then I move on and I'm talking to Twyla, and we had kind of moved into an action hour. And I see Jess take her glasses off and I see her wiping her face, and she's literally crying writing this post, right? Because she's like putting her heart into it. Every post isn't going to be like that, but I promise you, you're going to have some posts like that where you just are like, I'm sharing this. It's weird. It's hard. It's emotional. I'm sharing it. And you're going to like touch so many lives doing that. And who cares if they ever spend a red cent and to support your business. But if you made an impact that day, then that's really profound in my book. So the stuff that you maybe are a little scared to share, I'm not telling you to share something that you're uncomfortable with sharing, as far as like, I don't mean, it's making you step outside your comfort zone. I'm not telling you to do something that you're not ready to do by any means, but I do think it's good to stretch yourself a little bit and to grow in that way, you know? So.
Yes, for sure. Does anybody have anything they want to add before we jump off? I can't think of anything else to add to that. Those are kind of two big topics to cover. And of course we could talk for a long time about different things with objections and conversations, but I feel like we just covered like the basics, but also some really good stuff. I hope you guys, feel like empowered to message and invite tonight and send invites tomorrow, and just start your week off strong with your business. And seriously, like, don't underestimate what the impact that you can have on people this week, but also the growth and the wave that you can have in your business this week. I I mean, just by reaching more people, just by falling in falling in the right inbox. Because I'm, like Jess said, I'm having people reach out to me. I feel like more now than I've ever had, where they're like, okay, I had 2 people yesterday on the day of my sister's bridal shower, 2 messages, which I think's a lot, of saying like, hey, can you tell me about Beachbody On Demand? And hey, can you tell me a little bit more about what it is that you do with your workouts? One of them's already purchased, and I think the other one will in the next 24 hours. And so that's the stuff that, like, that's when you know, okay, like I've shown up, and it's because it's maybe taken me 6 years. And one of these people I've known my whole life pretty much. And she's never joined me until now. So that goes to show you that it's timing and it takes people time, but I've also don't know that I've invited her that much. So there you go. Like, you never freaking know. You can't assume that people aren't going to join you, or they're not ready, or they are ready, or whatever. We can't determine that. Okay, so let's do a boomerang. And I am so thankful for my internet service. I just want to say that I'm so grateful. Like, it's like you take internet service for granted. And I'm just saying, I'm so thankful that I could actually do this call tonight. So, okay, Jessica, she might be on customer service. I was wanting her to show up for this boomerang. There she is.
All right. No, I'm here. No, we're signing loan papers and all this too.
All right. Okay, let's do a boomerang. Ready, set, go. Yay. Okay, you guys, I hope that was super helpful. There is a glow up call on Thursday night. Otherwise, I don't know of any other calls this week or anything. So I'm running that call Thursday night if anyone wants to jump on that. And the other thing that I'm going to do this week, mark my words, I'm going to do the video that I've said that I would do forever about the Coach Online Office, because we have so many new coaches. It's so important, and I need to get that done. So I apologize for my delay, but I will do that. It's actually on my list for tomorrow. I'm just going to eat that frog and get it done, because it's not going to take that long. I'm not going to go super in depth. I'm just going to make it easy for them to navigate through their Coach Online Office, so that we have that tool so we can share with new coaches. And we'll put it in the file section probably. I'll probably just share it in the file section so it's easy to find. And then I'm also jumping on the Power Hour tomorrow morning. I didn't this morning, like I said I was going to. I didn't do it, but I am doing it tomorrow. I jumped on the new one today, but I seriously swear they are the best. They give you scripts. They tell you how to follow up. They help you navigate through conversations, through stories, through invites. Like, it seriously is. Plus, they will give you a training sometimes. They'll help you get in the mindset. They'll pour belief into you. Like, I swear these calls are gold, you guys. So if you have any time tomorrow at 8 a.m. or 12 p.m., and they're even in the evenings, if someone wants to do it at 8, I think they're at 8 p.m. every night, pretty much. So, I mean, maybe evenings are better for you guys. I encourage you to get on them. I swear you'll be glad you did. Okay, thank you all for jumping on. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.